You always do the countdown so slow that it's hard to even find out what your tempo is to know when the go is coming after 3. But
I'm very sorry.
it's not a criticism. It's just it doesn't really cause an issue. It just kind of makes me laugh.
Well, nobody can hear the count, so
No, they can't.
we could have gone forever without them having to know that, Tom. I feel a little betrayed. But we're moving on. We're okay.
We're moving on. We have a very exciting episode today. This is hands down the most important episode we will ever do. And it is an episode that everyone knew was coming. We knew it was coming. We tried to put it off, but we just could not hold out any longer. This it just means so much to us. And I think probably the reason why we're friends is because of what we'll be talking about most of the evening, correct? Would you say that?
That we'll be talking about it for most of the evening?
Well, and like the reason why we...
No, I know. I think we have a little more in common.
Well, I mean, more than just, the one.
Definitely was a shared interest throughout.
Sure. Okay.
But well, I think our love runs a little deeper than that.
A little deep.
But it's a factor in the net of the, I was going to say web of lies, just because it's a saying. But never mind.
Well, before we get into it, we have a couple things that we need to follow up on from last week, I guess. I don't know if you wanted, was there any developments on Jessie in the job front?
Yes, she...
Ooh.
Well, yeah. Yeah, she'll be going to Cincinnati. I don't know what I'm allowed to say, but...
Okay.
She's headed to Cincy, and she'll probably fly into Cincy in the first week of March, and then we'll go apartment hunting and have a nice visit, and then I'll fly out a couple weeks later and help her move, and it's all happening. And
wow.
That is... Yeah, but this final month of distance is really messing with my head, because you're telling me to listen to Julian Baker and stuff, and I'm just...
Right.
My wires are frizzed out, man. I'm losing it.
Yeah, you can't listen to too much of her at once. It's
so like we're getting down to the wire for sure, which is great, but it's also a little maddening, just like, oh God, one more month.
Try to take it into weeks. That's like what they tell marathon runners, right? Like,
oh, true. I picked up a Sunday shift last Sunday, and I picked up 2 more Sunday shifts at the end of the month. And then this weekend, I think I'll probably just go home to watch the Otters with my parents or something.
Oh, awesome.
So I'm like, literally every day is filled with a thing. You know what I mean? So
right.
I hopefully that makes it zing by. I did my taxes, so I'm looking forward to getting the return back hopefully soon.
Looking good?
Yeah, I'll get a little bit of money back.
Sweet. Yeah, I haven't even looked at my W-2s yet.
Yeah, it's something I like to get done right away, just because I want that money sooner.
Right. Yeah, I could use it. That's awesome, man. So, like, offer letter is signed, like it's set in stone?
I don't know if the paperwork's been officially mailed or received.
Yeah.
And I don't know if there's... So I that's why I'm avoiding details, but she's going to Cincinnati.
Awesome, man. So are you looking to follow her down there either when your contract is up or possibly before?
I'll be in Cleveland. I just signed another lease on my apartment, so I'll be here through at least the end of July.
Oh, okay.
And then in terms of how that plays out, I don't know how much I want to or am allowed to say, because it's not that I don't enjoy my current job. The people there are very nice. And it's Cleveland. Half the time I'm paying attention to Cleveland sports for my job, which is nice.
Yeah.
So I really am in no rush, or there's no ill will. I want to make that kind of clear. It's just, I do want to get down to Jessie, and maybe after the NBA Finals, which is a big coverage thing for us. I know that might sound strange, but the Cavs will probably get there, so we got to kind of plan around. I'll probably not bring it up again until that happens, so that'll be June, I guess. But so it's definitely on my mind, if I could maybe sneak out, but we'll see. I don't want to get into that too much, just because we'll see what it looks like when the time comes.
Awesome.
It is, yeah. But yeah, no, lately, your god Julian Baker over here.
Yeah.
Oh man, it was a. So I had one day weekend less, and it was like a laundry day weekend or like a laundry weekend with doing dishes and just catching up on stuff I hadn't gotten around to in a while, and just laying on the floor with the headphones on, just like marathon runner on repeat.
Yeah. Sprained ankle.
Yes, yeah. Oh god, Tom, what are you doing to me, guy?
Yeah, so I finally published the interview with the producer of that album, and it got a ton of traffic to the website. It was really cool. Like,
Oh, nice.
that interview alone holds like 60% of like the total website views.
There you go.
So that kind of got me hyped, and I started listening to it a lot again too. And
I also, a coworker recommendation, I watched Mulholland Drive, which is a movie by David Lynch. It's kind of I don't know if it's a thriller or a psycho something, but it's definitely playing tricks on your mind. There's no, you know what I mean? Anyway,
sure.
it's very unsettling, and not only was it Julian Baker filled Saturday of weird thoughts, but after watching Mulholland Drive, I was just like, what's even real, man? Just like, It wasn't even sadness. It was just utter confusion. Like, is this purgatory? Am I I thought it might have been purgatory, but I don't know. Who's to say, really? Anyway, I guess I'll go to the bathroom now. What the hell? You know what I mean? Like, my body's still functioning, so I got to be somewhere. Anyway,
God.
it's been a heck of a couple. I blame you, basically. That's what I'm trying to say. I should have just kept watching The Office and listening to Blink.
Right. So yeah, we kind of touched on it lightly last week. I was kind of concerned about how staying up late to do this podcast would affect me at my new job.
Yeah, how are you grooving, or what's going on there?
Well, so Wednesday, the day, we record Tuesday nights, usually around 9:30, finish up somewhere around like 11:30 or midnight. For the listeners. So I got to the job site on Wednesday and I was so tired, and it was freezing, like absolutely freezing. And I wasn't expecting it to be so cold. So I was in like a pair of shorts and just like a plain crew neck sweater, and it was like 25 degrees out. And we get on this roof, and every roof is slightly different. My first
No two
day,
roofs are alike.
right? So
That's not true.
my first day, I was on this really like easy roof. It was only like a 24-degree angle. So Wednesday, I'm really tired, and I climb the ladder up to this roof. I walk up one direction, and then you kind of turn around and you go up to the peak. And I hit the peak of that roof, and I'm looking down a 36-degree angle, and I almost completely froze up, dude. Like, I was so scared, man. I like just dropped down to my like all fours and was just like on the roof, like ready to die, man.
Oh no.
It was terrifying, and it was a really awful day. I had a hard time walking around. Like, up until today, I didn't really feel comfortable on the roof, but Wednesday was a bad day to be tired from recording, man.
Yeah, Jesus. Now I feel bad that we're even doing it. I feel like we're just f***ing each other's lives up.
But I survived, and I
that's good.
I love the job, dude. Like, I was up on a 30-foot roof today. Ladders are still a little weird with me, the way they like bounce up and down. Climbed like a 30-foot ladder. I was up like 36 feet or something on this 3-story house. And it was just fine, dude. I feel like I was born up there now. Like, it's not too bad. I'm really enjoying it. I'm enjoying the guys. They saw the Bernie Sanders sticker on my car, and they all voted for Trump. So they're really nice guys, and they like mess with me about it. They like call me Bernie, and they all talk in a Canadian accent as like a joke. And they're like, "Hey, Bernie," and it's just
they're not
good.
like white supremacists, right?
No, not at all. Yeah, different. They're
Okay.
they're different.
Well, you got to
personality
work
types
with
than
them, so
me,
you got to
but-
find some kind of common ground with them, because you're obviously not a Trump supporter.
Right. I mean, I really, try to just not even think about it and just have a good time at work with them because they're really funny and like super, have been super helpful to me. And I know at my last job, I didn't see eye to eye with any of those guys on anything with like politics or like religion or whatever. And they were like twice my age. So at least I'm working with people like closer to my age. So it's a little more easy. They're a little more easily relatable, but
They're all
yeah.
Elon Musk's little babies.
Oh yeah, and they're like all into solar too, so it's like it's just it's been good. I really enjoy it, but it seems like I'm working on a crew with 4 other guys right now, and 3 of them will be gone within a few weeks because like 2 are transferring out of the state. The one dude, like my supervisor, is going to be transferring down to Florida and opening a horse ranch.
Whoa!
And yeah, so like people are just moving all around. So
I didn't know you did that in Florida.
I guess so. I guess the real estate out there
Seems like your hoofs would get stuck in the swamp or something.
eating my gators.
Yeah, really. No, yeah, or just people that are high on bath salts.
Eating each other's
Just
faces.
looking for some flesh to gnaw.
So yeah, I have one thing that I usually save to the end, but I need to get out first. We officially didn't launch, but we introduced the new Ad Astra podcast today, which is the space policy and technology podcast. Put a lot of work into getting that set up and ready to go. You can go to our website at www.elemental.fm/Ad Astra sample, and you'll hear like a 15-minute sample of the show. You can kind of get to know the guys a little bit, see what it's about, and there's a link in there to download a full episode if you're interested. It's turning out really well. I'm really excited about it. It feels good to like be producing the first podcast that isn't just like our weekly chat kind of thing that we're doing more for fun than anything.
I think if people have gone this far with us, they know.
Right.
They know,
Yeah, so I'm super excited.
Hey, what I'm trying to say is
rolling.
thanks, Aaron.
And all you San Diego Monkeys fans.
Yeah, I don't know why, but I like it. I like how obscure that little group is.
So, speaking of San Diego, let's get down to it. The real purpose of this show.
Sure.
This is just feeding more into our San Diego crowd. What is our show going to be all about today, Pat?
This is the Blink-182 special.
Finally.
And it's not for lack of content. I feel like it was going to be our backup regardless, but I think you caught a bit of inspiration and you wanted to... because you and I are very different types of fans of the band.
Right.
Because there's 2 camps, and we're in each of the camps. So
Right.
I'll let you kind of carry though, because this is definitely, your episode for sure. Because you have the tattoos and shit.
Right. But
that's not to say that. Well, we'll just see. We'll just see. People can take from what we're about to say and tweet at us and let everyone know that despite Tom's ink, I'm actually the bigger fan. But we'll see. Just kidding.
Yeah, that's Twitter.
Carry it away, Maestro.
Yeah, Twitter @_reminiscentfm is where you'll find us.
You got to look up. You got to type in all the characters, or else it won't pop up.
Oh, really? That's
Yeah. People might have been curious about that.
okay. Yeah. Twitter search functionality is garbage.
But you know what isn't garbage?
What's that?
Enema of the State.
Oh,
I think that's our one common ground. Do you want to start on the album rankings? Should we just start there? Or should we start like, it's a 3-piece pop punk band who rose to fame in the 90s and early 2000s, right? They're from San Diego, right?
I think Poway is what their Wikipedia article says, and I know that because I did a speech on them in college. But yeah, like San Diego.
And they started with a different drummer who was a roommate but an alcoholic and had the Dude Ranch. Well, not because Dude Ranch is a good album, but you know, that slappy, real quick, like
Skank beats.
Yeah. Oh, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, it was the same thing every time. Anyway, Travis rolled in before Enema, and then that's all they needed. It was the third heat for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So do you want to just rank the albums and just start down that path?
Yeah. So we have like a couple different like categories of what we're going to be doing with Blink-182, and so I wanted to, even just for myself, I've never really thought about it too much. Of like, I know that Enema of the State is not only my favorite Blink-182 album, it's my favorite album of all time. But I didn't really know how the rest of them fit in, because each album has been, pretty awesome, but I didn't really know how they ranked. I've never sat down to really try to like break it apart and figure it out. And
so this is where you're going to differ with me.
Sure.
I have soured on Take Off Your Pants and Jacket considerably. I don't think it ages as well.
Really?
I just don't think it's an obvious top two with that and Enema. I think Enema is the obvious top one, because I've talked about it on this podcast before. Every band has their best album that you can't really argue is not.
Right.
Again, that's a work in motion theory there that's not nailed down, but I think Enema's that for them. I think it's hard. That's when they came into their own. It was an explosion. It's one of those front to back. It's like, 22 minutes long. You know what I mean? It's like barely a good road trip CD because of how little mileage you could actually cover with it in the CD changer. But I think that's the number one. And then, well, I don't know. My number two, oops, sorry, I slid my chair there. What's your number two?
Yeah, I think it would have to be Take Off Your Pants and Jacket, just because it was some of the first songs that I ever heard by them were from that album, and these were like the first songs I ever heard that weren't just like radio pop, I mean, you can probably argue that All the Small Things was radio pop, but that album was so critical to my like development in my musical taste that I feel like that definitely has to be.
Well, I was talking to Joe
number two.
McShane, and I don't know if I'm revealing his personal shit, but it sounds like I've talked to other people too, but like children of divorce enjoy Take Off Your Pants and Jacket maybe more than someone who can't appreciate Happy Holidays, You Bastard, for example. Is that, am I talking about shit I don't know what I'm talking about, or is that part of why it rang close to what you were going through, maybe?
I mean, definitely Stay Together for the Kids kind of hit me hard. I've been through 2 divorces. The second one was the best. Like,
a mercy kill.
It was like the best thing that could have happened. But yeah, so like I think that song as well as Shut Up just like really played into my like
Oh, I said Happy Holidays, You Bastard, but Stay Together for the Kids is the one where they say, here's your holiday, right? So I
yeah. And I remember, so when I was 17, what was I at this point? I think it was 15 or 16. I just went through this like kind of depression. I don't know. Like, there was really no catalyst for it. I just kind of was super bummed out for a while.
Right.
And,
right.
We were in a band together.
Was this after Steph?
During, I think, yeah.
Oh man.
So yeah, like we were in a band together. I was the drummer, so we always practiced at my house. And we had a really sick setup in the basement. I mean, it was pretty solid. And my mom told me one day that my aunt was moving in with us because she was having a baby, and we wouldn't be able to like have practice there anymore, and I wouldn't be able to like really play drums there anymore because there would be a baby. And it sounds really selfish. I mean, there's some personal stuff in the background that might be inappropriate to discuss on this, but like, I just did not want that situation, right? I mean, Yeah, it would be a little too personal to get too
Right.
into it.
Sure. But of course, your mom had to take her in.
Yeah,
at the
yeah, she's
time.
always
It would,
cared for her sister and basically raised her child.
right. But speaking as a selfish teen at the time, you're just like, but mom, we're trying to rock.
So I remember it was the middle of winter and I put on Shut Up by Blink-182 and I walked around Erie for like 3 hours in the snow and just I don't know, man. It just it did it. Like that was before I was like into anything heavier with like screaming in it. That probably would have satisfied that feeling a little more, but yeah, that song just did it for me, man.
Sure.
It
it's a good one. Pretty direct in its lyrics.
yeah.
I'll give you that. So in the spirit of being accurate, let's say Anima, take off your pants and jacket. I'm gonna say Dude Ranch. And then I'm gonna say man, California. And then I'm gonna say self-titled. And then I don't really care whether Neighborhoods or Buddha or whatever comes next, because I don't really think it matters.
Okay, sorry, what was your number 2?
Oh, you know what? Am I allowed to say number 2 is the Mark, Tom, and Travis show? Because that isn't a joy to listen to.
Interesting. I didn't even think about that.
I'm going to call that my number 2. That'll be my number 2. Take off your pants and jacket, and Dude Ranch will be 3, 4, depending on the day. Because Josie and Damn It on, Dude Ranch is not a slouch record.
Oh, no.
It is in the top 3. And I just, for whatever reason, Toy Page, are we calling it that? Is that the short? Anyway, Take Off Your Pants just didn't age well with me for some reason. Even though I realize it's definitely. But then again, with Roller Coaster, yeah, it's the 2. I'm gonna say Mark, Tom, and Travis is 2. Take Off Your Pants and Jacket is 3. Dude Ranch, California, self-titled, and then whatever the collection of the tree or the Cheshire Cat / Buddha. Then I'm gonna say Neighborhoods. No, what do you think? Neighborhoods comes before Cheshire, maybe.
You did not like Neighborhoods.
There was 3 tracks on it that were worth it.
Oh, Pat. Okay.
Tom, don't even start with me right now, you son of a bitch. It was a slouch record. They were just doing it for the I don't know. They were getting together and they wanted to make it work, but they didn't like each other. It was a shitty Angels and Airwaves record, and there's 3 to 4 good songs on it. There's recycled riffs. I mean, DeLonge only has so many fucking riffs that he uses, and he's recycled 3 of them already. You know what I mean? Ghost on the Dance Floor is it's the same song we've been hearing for years.
Okay. Ghost on the Dance Floor should not have been the single. Absolutely not.
It wasn't even a single. It was
no.
After Midnight was a good one.
Yeah.
it's a good song.
Ghost on the Dance Floor was a single because they had the music video of them like in the streets and stuff.
I'm sorry to hear that. No, it was Up All Night, dude.
You might be right.
Up All Night was the single. Ghost on the Dance Floor was the first or second song on the album. And it was just like, I feel like I've listened to this song 3 times by now. Which is why I'm team, well, it's hard to say, because if you're team Mark, his songwriting ability is limited. But if you're Team Tom, so is his. You know what I mean? So it's like, I can get when like baby boomers are like, what the f***? Like, how can you guys, like, you guys just, man, I don't know. Anyway, I'll let, you're driving here. You're driving. Sure. I'm going off on a tangent.
Yeah, so my lineup, I guess, and this is, I'm questioning it as I'm going.
Sure.
I don't really care about Buddha or Cheshire Cat.
We'll lump them together and call it the early stuff.
Okay, and I really don't care about Dogs Eating Dogs.
Although with that said, Carousel,
happened.
There's a version of Carousel that I've come to love a great deal. It's like whatever the better recording is. That is one of their top 10 songs, I might argue. Top 15, maybe. I do like Carousel.
Is Untitled from Cheshire Cat, though? It's
they might have lumped
this time. I'll get it right.
I think they might have lumped it in with Dude Ranch. It might appear on both, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, that song's pretty killer. But my list.
Oh yeah, that's Dude Ranch. I was the one there that night when you needed you most. When I need. Yeah, that's
so. Good. My list goes: number 1, Enema; number 2, Take Off Your Pants and Jacket. And this is where it gets hard. 3, it might just be a recency bias, but with all of its flaws and like. I probably have more criticisms of this album than any other, but I
But you're
think
placing it third.
but I think California is number 3.
It's not a slouch record.
I think every bridge in that album is trash. I think the vocal production is kind of cringeworthy at some points.
It's so poppy.
Also, like in Bored to Death, the third note in the song, which is the first song you heard, has like a glitch in the pitch correction. Like, dude, it's just like, this is like one of the biggest producers of all time who did like all of All Time Low's stuff that's like, you know, was like #1 album back in summer of 2016. Why do you have a bad pitch correction in there? It's just,
What song?
Bored to Death. Like the very like the third word that he says, there's like bleh, and like, oh dude, it was the first thing I heard. But anyway, it gets me going, man. Like they are very strong hooks. I think the singles actually might have been some of their weakest songs.
So when I first heard the record, Bohemian Rhapsody, or whatever Built This Pool, I was like, oh man, that's the catchiest riff
I know
of the whole record. It's a throwaway song.
It was almost 10 seconds.
It was almost like the way rap records used to be, where there'd be a sketch.
I hate those, man.
Yeah, but I mean, like that's
Skit,
just a sketch, yeah, right? Or skit, yeah. But you know, it was part of back when you used to listen to albums and CDs. It would just be like part of the experience. So I kind of like that they use that. Would it be a trope or whatever? But the more I listen to it, Cynical's a great opener. You know, kind of a throwaway opener, but it's an open. You know, Bored to Death is a good tune. Yeah, I think most of them are pretty solid. I'm trying to think of one I didn't like. I didn't like San Diego at first, but it's good.
Very good, very good.
Good enough for what it is, I guess. Yeah, that was growing on me a lot, for sure.
Do you like... Yeah, I think Rabbit Hole is pretty bad. No Future is really bad.
Well, Deerhead, Shut Up is like not the strongest.
Deerhead, shut up!
So bad.
Won't you just shut up?
Wait,
also, what's No Future? What's the hook there?
They don't care a thing about us.
Yeah, okay, that's right.
So Mark has a really
What's
bad
the one where they're
issue.
like Kings of the Weekend or whatever?
It's called Kings of the Weekend.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Mark has a really bad habit on this album of finding the most unpleasant note in his melody and deciding to hold that one out in the chorus. Like,
interesting. What's an example?
So in Bored to Death, so life is too short to last long. It's just
dude. Okay, so
dude.
I was a big downer on this record for the first several months, only because there was a lyric video that surfaced early last year. It's like life is too short. You know, it's like the whole the way you rhyme words is, you know, like what's the chorus again? In fading fast, life is too short to last. Like that's a fucking rhyme. And then he just says the word long at the end of it. It's like
so bad.
You already succeeded at making a rhyme, you dumb piece of shit. You know what I mean? Like
it's a stupid line anyway. Life is too short to last long? Dude, come on. You've had 45 years to practice this.
It's redundant and it doesn't add anything and it makes it worse in every way. So that I was sour on the record to begin with. And then when I heard Built This Pool, I was like, their catchiest hook is on the fucking skit song? Oh, God. Anyway, it's a good effort. It's grown on me. I'll say that.
And I think the bridge of that song, first of all, people hated on Neighborhoods because they were saying Tom is just doing his whoa. But then the entire bridge of Bored to Death is a very Tom DeLonge-esque whoa that goes on twice as long as it should.
Oh no, that's a tight song.
No, it is, but the bridge,
they let it go at the end, but that was just a recording flaw that it wouldn't be in the radio edit, I don't think.
I don't know, man. Anyway, as much as I'm talking number 3 album.
Yeah, I was gonna say, dude, you're putting it on the 3 over the Mark, Tom, and Travis show.
Well, I didn't even think about that.
Over Dude Ranch, because that might be one of the greatest, low key, one of the greatest live albums of all time.
Oh, it absolutely is, but I'm
they
sure
were
the vocals
absolutely
are not
hammered.
live.
What's that?
There's no way those vocals are live.
You don't think so?
No, absolutely not. They never do live vocals in a live album.
Oh. Well, that's disheartening.
Actually, you know what? I take that back. I don't want to ruin the magic.
It's not that great. It's all really fast. Is this confirmed?
I doubt they're real.
Is that standard practice in the recording industry?
Well, I know that, the Dangerous Summer is like one of my favorite bands. They're from Baltimore. I know most of the guys in that. And someone complimented their singer on how good he sounded in their live album. And he was straight up like, yeah, we kept the instrumentals and we redid the vocals in the studio. And they're not even a big band. I mean, they had some pretty good success, but they're not like Blink level or anything. So I imagine they're going to clean it up as much as they can. But I don't think it ruins it for me. Yeah, I think actually the Mark, Tom, and Travis show was, probably one of the first things I downloaded off of Kazaa or LimeWire.
Yeah, dude, Frostwire, baby.
Oh God, Frostwire.
I love Frostwire because they shut LimeWire down, and then the pirates were just like, okay, so what if we do Frostwire? It was the same color. It was like one of those citrus fruits cut in half, just a different. Instead of being a lime, it was just like a snowflake instead. They just rendered it a different color and called it something kind of different.
All right, so here's where you're gonna get mad, I think.
Probably.
Number 4 is Neighborhoods.
You're you're just a trash fan, is what you are. This is bull. I hate your team. I hate your team, Tom. Fucking pity pat, fucking horse. Why are we even? See, now I'm just gonna be upset for the rest of the podcast because I'm talking to a freaking lunatic. What about that album is redeeming? You're putting it in front of Dude Ranch. You're putting it ahead of Self-Titled. I just know the sins you're committing before you try to defend yourself. Okay?
Dude Ranch is good, but I think the only songs that I've really listened to at great length has been Josie and Damn It, because my bands have covered both of them. I love Enema so much. If I listen to Blink, it's gonna be Enema of the State.
Are you even a real fan, Tom? These are how grave of the things you're saying. I felt the urge to disrespect you in such a way that I would even ask you that question, even though I know the answer is you are. But I'm trying to disrespect you with my line of questioning because that is just so absurd, man. That album's good.
I'll listen to it.
Just go back. Give it 2 drives.
Okay.
Next time you're driving or whatever, and you get to sit down, we'll revisit it in a future thing. But I respect your opinion, except that I don't. And you're saying Neighborhoods is that good. After Midnight's a very strong tune.
After Midnight is killer. But I'll tell you what, man. Snake Charmer is like maybe low-key one of their best songs.
What's the one on that album that I like that you hate? It's a faster one.
MH.
No.
It's a Mark song, right?
What's it called? It's like
I'm looking.
It has the interlude. It's the one with the interlude.
Oh, Heart's All Gone. Yeah, that song sucks.
Dude,
it doesn't suck. It's not my favorite.
It rocks. It's the hardest rocking tune on the record. On that record.
It's so funny because everyone I know is Team Mark.
The thing is, I'm willing to sit here and admit that he's the shittier songwriter. Plus 44 is, if we're gonna talk about side or whatever.
We'll get into it. Yeah.
Anyway, I get that he's the worst songwriter, but Tom's just such a wiener, dude. And some of the Mark songs. I don't know. Maybe you should rank the best Mark and Tom songs and put them against each other.
That'd be fun too. Yeah.
But we'll continue down this line. So you like Neighborhoods?
So I like Neighborhoods. I actually there's a guy named, he goes by Odi, like Odi Acoustic, ODI. He did the entire Neighborhoods album with just acoustic guitars, and it is wonderful.
Oh, that sounds nice.
Yeah, it was really good coffee shop music. My boss let me play it, which was like my way to listen to Blink-182 at work. But yeah, dude, Snake Charmer, like, so he's doing a major scale melody, right? Because the song's in a major scale. But then those little bells in the background are going, it's like a counter melody in a minor scale. And it is amazing. Like, it's so brilliant. And it's very You know, it has like all the Blink qualities to it, but just that right there was like so different that I just really love that song.
That's fair. These are all fair points. I feel like I've made myself clear as to why I personally don't think it deserves to be ahead of, because Self-Titled is a front to backer if you're a Blink fan. Dude Ranch, you might not listen to the final 4 tracks or something, or at least sometimes I get lost at their Lemmings or whatever it is. But just Neighborhoods does not even come close to being a front to backer for me, because Take Off Your Pants and Jacket and Enema are for sure front to backers, right? Like you're just gonna blow through them, and you love every second of it. You know every song. You hear the beginning of the first one before it even starts. After the last one ends, or this. You know what I'm trying to say? Like it's just burned into your memory the way the album feels and goes and the pace. I never felt that way with Neighborhoods, I guess.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a good little record.
Okay. Yeah, and Self-Titled comes in at 5. For me, I mean, I probably only listen to.
Well, the thing is, Self-Titled's also weird as because it's like not foreshadowing to Angels and Airwaves, but it's definitely. So it's got Miss You, which is. I mean, you could argue that's their best song. You could argue that, and I would have to sit here and listen.
I think I have it as number 2, actually.
So I could sit here and it won't be in what I tell you is my top songs, but there was a version of an iTunes at one point a few computers ago, where that and Island in the Sun by Weezer were my top 2 listens by far. You know what I mean? So it's like I was listening to it a lot more. It was on a lot of playlists whenever I was driving around as a teen. So I wouldn't say it is now, but obviously it's one of their better songs. But then there's those interludes and those like, I don't know. It's just a weird album.
Tim Armstrong comes in out of nowhere.
Yeah. What is he even? It's like womp, 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 womp. What is it? It's just so weird.
Pick Me Up, I'm Falling.
Yeah. It's just.
Oh, dude, I love that. Might be one of my favorite songs on the record. Behind
Oh my god, Asthenia is on that record, Tom. Feeling This. Feeling This might be one of the.
You're right.
Feeling This is probably their second best album starting song after Dumpweed.
Down's on this record too, right?
Right. I'm talking about the way their records start, like for track 1s. Feeling This is their second best track 1 is what I'm trying to put out there right now.
Yeah. The album is really good.
It is so good. It's so much better than Neighborhoods. Just realize this as we discuss this, please.
Yeah.
Asthenia is good. Even now looking down for an easy target. Letters.
That song sucks, dude.
Dude, but I'm just saying, like, it's catchier than half of Neighborhoods, and it's like the 10th best song on that record. It is a gimmick song because it's like pop 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 pop. It's kind of like it's a hokey little thing. But
do you like all of this?
Which one was that?
I think that's actually the one with Tim Armstrong.
I'm thinking of Obvious.
Oh, that's a good one too.
Yeah.
The chorus is like "Use me, honey, come on."
Oh yeah, the thing is, for what it is, if you're in that weird ass DeLonge when he started playing a different type of guitar. And had the bangs, and he was the most the most Macbeth version of himself he's ever been.
Right.
That if you're in that mood, sure, fine. That interlude I'll drive and let it. I won't skip ahead. Do I like it? Did it age well with me? Not really.
Okay, gotcha.
So I would probably skip that Armstrong thing and that or whatever. There's 2 on there that I just pick me up, I'm falling. It's like okay.
Right. Well, the drums in that are pretty killer. That's true. That's why I listen to it.
That's when they started letting Travis have like 2 or 3 moments on an album where they were just like, you just want to do whatever it is the you do for like a little while.
The end of I'm Lost Without You too.
Yeah.
Brutal.
And then there was that weird letter. It's like, it's been forever since I've written, and I do love you. It's like a really old lady writes.
What?
Don't you remember that on Self-Titled album? There's
no.
Maybe I had a different version than you, but there's at the end of one of the songs, a lady just reads a letter to like a vet that was killed in combat or something like that. She just like, it's been 12 years since I've read this letter. Like, you never heard this?
No.
Oh God, Tom. Maybe that you should. I feel like we should pause and then you'll edit this together. I need you to go listen to that right now.
I can't even find it. It's not even in.
Let me see if I can Google.
Because in my Apple Music, it's showing that there's just like 2 songs missing, and it's Obvious and Down, which are like, the fuck? Why would you skip those songs?
Hold on, let me try to find it.
Ba-dum bum bum.
Okay, here we go. I'm about to find it here. Background songs, package. Okay. It's after Stockholm Syndrome, maybe?
It's not even showing. Yeah, there's like songs missing for me. I don't know why.
Oh, yeah. After Stockholm Syndrome, it features Joanne Whalley, who reads letters Hoppus's grandfather wrote his grandmother during World War II. DeLonge explained the letters as real, sincere, genuine letters from the worst war in history. And then Down goes after that, I think. So it comes after Stockholm Syndrome. I'm telling you, this lady, that's why I'm saying this record is so weird. Which I could understand why you would put it under Neighborhoods if you like Neighborhoods, because not only is just a letter read in the middle of the whole fucking thing, there's more than one interlude. There's 2. You know what I mean? So there's just like there's at least 3 minutes of audio that isn't Blink music. You know what I mean? And it is just so strange. Right. And it is so Macbethy in terms, if we're talking about DeLonge's clothing line look.
Yeah.
And it's just so like, it was experimental for sure. Like they were running out of steam maybe, or I don't know. I just don't know how to explain why it took that. But that was before they broke up for the first time, right? Anyway.
Okay, so we have our top albums, right? And
yeah.
The listeners love to hear a good quarrel. We're not going to agree with a lot of the things here.
No, do it.
But yeah, I mean, there's definitely some interesting things to talk about. We've already killed like 45 minutes. But like we
have to do a part 2, dude.
There were a lot of eras of Blink-182, and I think it would be really cool, maybe not today, but like to break it down into like pre-Travis, post-Travis, Tom.
Well, pre-Travis, the only thing to speak of.
Well, yeah, I guess just Dude Ranch.
Well, you just did it just now. You just did it. There's Cheshire, or whatever the Buddha. And then there's Dude Ranch. There's Dude Ranch, which is a good album. It's probably the best album they had without Travis. So then they put out. Then there was the 2 back-to-back just mega hits, right? They were wildly successful. Then it got weird, right? Then it was self-titled. Then it was the breakup, right? And then it's just been kind of off since.
Yeah.
So those are and then there was they tried to get back together, didn't work, and now there's California. It's a different band in my opinion. I saw them in Pittsburgh last summer.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, it was. They should have just played the album front to back, because making Skiba try to sing DeLonge lyrics was a crime to everyone involved. You know what I mean? It was not right. It was disrespectful to Skiba because DeLonge is the weirdest voice of all time, you know? Disrespectful to DeLonge, disrespectful to the fans. You know, it's just like, you guys are a different band now, so you should, you know, it's like, I think they played, maybe I'm making this up, but I think they played, what's that one song off the Greatest Hits? There's like a single on Greatest Hits. Like Now or First Now or...
Not Man... Oh, I don't know. Not Man Overboard?
No, it's just like... oh, come on, Tom. You're the one that's supposed to know this one. Because I always say I like Man Overboard. In terms of the singles that weren't on albums, I like Man Overboard, and you like First Now.
Not Now.
Not Now, Now, right.
I have no idea what you were saying at first.
So I think in my head they played Not Now and Not Man Overboard or something. I might be making that up. But it's like they were going out of their way to make Skiba. It's like, play Man Overboard. You got Hoppus there, you fucking idiots.
Yeah, that sounds weird to me.
It was a weird experience.
Huh. Also, their voices... So to tell you the truth, so I didn't listen to Alkaline Trio at all, ever.
I liked one of their tunes. I think Ryan Zimmerman turned me on to like...
Yeah, they were his favorite. But it's not that I don't like them, I've just never listened. But the first few times I heard Bored to Death, I had no idea that it wasn't Mark the whole time.
Yeah, same here.
It's like indistinguishable. I mean, now that I know, you can hear like the subtle differences, but holy hell, dude. Like, I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
Do you want to?
So I think that's a different band. That's a whole different band
Yeah.
altogether. But I think those are the eras for sure.
Sure. Do you want?
But I mean, the sweet spot was definitely the 2 albums that did the best.
Yeah.
Do I want what?
Do you want to put this under a microscope and go favorite songs?
Yeah, I'll zip through mine real quick.
Okay.
With a little explainer about why. So we put together our favorite 5. I'm gonna say Dumpweed. I've raved about that this whole time.
Oh yeah.
You know, when Zach and I saw him in Pittsburgh back when DeLonge was there, it was when they reunited for the first. It might have been the Neighborhoods tour, I think.
No,
I
it was
don't really
it was
remember.
pre-Neighborhoods because I went too, and they only played after midnight. And
It was the summer. It was the summer the DJ died.
No. Oh, what?
Yeah.
How? Oh, okay.
They delayed the tour, so I couldn't see him in Cleveland. So I saw him in Pittsburgh a couple weeks later.
Oh, okay.
Because Zach's girlfriend bought him tickets for his birthday, but they broke up, and he got to keep the tickets somehow.
Nice.
So I went with him. It was crazy. Yeah. I don't even still remember how it played out that way. You know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and tell this story, just because.
Okay.
I think I've been waiting to say it, and it's the Blink episode. I wish Zach were here to help, but.
Oh yeah.
So we were under 21, and so we had somehow acquired beer, and we was in a cooler in the trunk, and we were all nervous because we were driving a long distance for the first time with it, because we were going to tailgate the concert, right? It was at the pavilion down near Pittsburgh. I forget, it changes the sponsor all the time. I forget what it's called now, but anyway, we got gas, and then we got pulled over like immediately. like a block later, and we were like, how? We were like, what f***ing how? And the guy was like, you gonna pay for that gas, son? I was like, oh shucks, I didn't even realize. He's like, oh, that's okay, it happens all the time.
Wait, you
and he
pulled
just
off
let us,
without paying for gas?
Oh yeah, we were so nervous about the beer. So not even like, so we drive the like 20 feet back. He's just like, no worries, son. Happens all the time. We were like, oh God, that was close.
God.
I just like, it was one of those things where you look over and you're just like, is this where a police chase happens and our lives end? In either death or jail? You know, like. Anyway, so we paid for the gas at the country fair on East Lake Road near my house. And then we went down. And this is actually not foreshadowing, but some dudes that live near Athens, Ohio, near Nelsonville, I think. Anyway, they had come up to Pittsburgh to watch the show, so I got to hang out with some Southeastern Ohio good folks. And we had a couple beers and like some cheddar wursts or something that we were going to grill up. And they had drugs and way better beer and way more food, and they were like, we're not gonna eat all this stuff, come on guys, you know, like. And so they were giving us some things to try, and Zach tried, he smoked, I think. Are we allowed to say that? Sure. Anyway, so he did that, he went down that route. And anyway, we ended up partying with these dudes all day and tailgating, which we ended up. It was probably the worst decision at either of us. And I think if you asked him today, it was the biggest, like, you learn how to party as you're growing up, right? And
I don't know.
We made the biggest mistake. Well, you like learn what not to do if you're about to see your favorite band for the first time. You know what I mean? So we get absolutely, I don't even know how we got through the gate, to be quite honest with you. It was ugly. And the next thing I remember is they opened with Dumpweed, which we had been calling throughout the tailgate. Like, they got to open it with Dumpweed, And you just picture Garth and Wayne just holding each other's shoulders going, whoa! And that is all I remember of the show.
Oh, my God.
There's flashes of me making out with a girl for, like, a few songs. And
Jesus.
Then there's flashes of Zach saying, like, dude, she was, And Zach had her friend right there. I was like, yeah, you too, man. Cool. What the hell's going on? Is this a dream where we go to a concert and don't get skunked? It's just, anyway. And then the next thing I woke up and we were both in the parking lot, and Zach was, I was in the driver's seat, but we hadn't gone anywhere. And I looked over and he had fallen asleep eating potato salad that he got from Walmart earlier. And the thing was off the jar and it was getting dry, and don't remember a god thing about the first time I saw Blink-182. Other than they opened with, it was so brutal. Like, I tried to look up, but the girl was attractive, so it's like I was also pretty into that. Because being a young man, I wasn't like swimming, and I was, I've always had big ears and been kind of lanky, so, it is what it is. So that was a good thing. But I remember looking up and like kind of seeing Travis was doing his solo. I'm like, they're already at that point in the show? No! You know what I mean? Like, what do we have, like 2 songs and then an encore after this? And it's like, I missed everything. But we saw Feeling This we saw Dumpweed and we got to jump around and, air guitar to it. Like, oh, but it was such a mess. It was such a mess, Tom. I'm telling you what.
Oh, man. I think seeing Blink was one of the best experiences of my life.
Where'd you see him for the first time?
I saw him when I was in DC. I was like maybe 21, 20.
Oh, okay.
And I had the whole like pit to myself, dude. I just jumped up and down for the entire like 2 hours. And when Travis so he did his drum solo and there was like an arm that was attached to the ceiling and it pushed his platform over the pit and then put him facing like straight down. So he's doing this solo and I'm watching him at like a 90-degree angle and he's like sweating on me. And I just remember being like, dude, this is
Nirvana.
I can die here, man.
Right,
no, it was
right.
Blink-182, not Nirvana.
Hey, I was talking about the Buddhist principle.
good joke,
Oh, God. Dude.
Not the funny one, sorry.
So you like Travis? You're a fan of Travis?
He's all right.
Yeah, he's all right.
So, yeah, let's
I meant like in Buddhism when you...
I know.
No, just I'm just kidding.
So, songs?
Sure, yeah. Anyway, yeah, sorry for that little... Well, no, people know what goes on here at this point. Me just trying my best to just everything up. So I'm going to say Dumpweed for that. That's how I got onto this topic.
Okay.
Dumpweed, Josie is probably my favorite song off Dude Ranch. It is just, see your pretty face. It takes me away to a better place. And I know that, it's just,
so good.
it brings the fucking thunder. I really like that song. Roller Coaster is probably my favorite tune off of Take Off Your Pants and Jacket, so that makes it my top 5. And I've talked to my sleep and walked to my sleep throughout our friendship, and dreams are definitely I don't know how or why they work the way they do, but the line about had that dream about you again where I drive my something about it stuck because I've never had trouble sleeping, but when dreams are weird, I wake up feeling strange and stuff. And
yeah, right.
That hit home. Miss You is on the list because I feel it has to be.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah. Again, you could say it's their best song, and I would have to respect the hell out of your take. And then I'm gonna put Man Overboard on there. Just because I like the way it throws back to this. Sorry, it's over. And then it's like. I think that was the single that got released with the Mark Tom and Travis show.
Yeah, it was.
Whereas Not Now was the single that got released with the Greatest Hits album. Anyway, that's my 5. I could be wrong, and I'm probably going to realize some shit as we go back through.
It's we can when we do our.
I think this is my list. I've thought it out though. A representative of most of their phases, and yeah. So what are yours?
All right, so obviously All the Small Things, number 1. That song is the reason that I am a musician. I talked about it 2 episodes ago.
Okay.
I don't even know. I don't even remember what we talked about last week, to be honest with you.
It is a great song. I almost feel like I'm just trying to be an asshole for not putting it in my top 5. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I have, this is 100% legitimate. I've told my girlfriend Megan that when I die, if I die, I want Turn the Lights Off, Carry Me Home on my gravestone, or Earn if I'm cremated. It is super serious.
That's a good one.
I have.
That's actually really nice. I like that.
Yeah, dude. Even though I kind of believe you just rot in the ground and don't go anywhere else.
Yeah, but it'll be made for a hell of a tombstone.
Right. So I have my left arm has a big windmill on a floating landmass. It's it's my favorite tattoo. And it's my little windmill.
To me, that reminds me more of the Gorillas than anything, though.
And that's what everyone says. I totally forgot about that.
Yeah, the music video for people listening, the music video for Feel Good Incorporated.
Yeah.
That's what is on his arm, but it's supposed to be a little windmill.
It's more Dutch than I think theirs might have been. I think they had the red stripy windmill. I've got an old school wooden.
Something Don Quixote would have tried to f up.
Yeah.
Pulling some wishbone shit out of my here.
Okay. So without a doubt, All the Small Things. That song is the reason I am who I am. Like I try to I don't know what person I would be if I never heard that song, because it would be totally different. Maybe, I don't know. I think number 2 has to be "I Miss You," just because that song, I think
it's a good one. It's one of their best.
That album came out in like 2003. And that's like not too long after I first heard them. I was a late bloomer to good music.
Yeah, I got one of those burn CDs so my mom wouldn't know there'd be a parental advisory on it. So I'd been listening to Blink for years, and then all of a sudden that song came on the radio, and I was like, oh my god, this is the band I love. And I was just like, they're still making music? Like, oh shit. I'm around. And then it kind of got into perspective, but it was like, oh shit. And then, Tom comes in from the other speaker. Where are you? And I was like, oh god.
Wait, you don't like that part?
No, I just like, that's fucking him for sure. I was like, I can't believe this is that band I like.
Yeah, I mean, I remember hearing it at the Mill Creek Mall.
Because that was that might not have been pre-Google, but I mean, at our age, we weren't allowed unlimited. I don't know. It was just different. Like, I didn't know they had more albums. I just didn't fucking know.
Yeah. I mean, I remember hearing that song for the first time. So I did like musical theater as a kid. I was in 6th grade with Liz Venuto and my friends Sam and Matt, and we were just walking around the mall, and that song came on, and I remember just sitting down on a bench and just listening to it.
Yeah.
Like before you could just immediately listen to anything you wanted to.
Right. Life was just that much different.
Yeah.
I remember I was driving in the car with my sister and Brittany Tomba because we were going home from some nerd competition, I think, or something.
Right.
But just like, everyone shut the up now, please. I'm going to be on. Don't you realize how important this is that we were in the car listening at this very moment?
Right.
So I get that sitting down in the mall thing. I didn't know you knew Liz Venuto that long.
Yeah, I met her when I was in 6th grade.
Oh.
Yeah, we go way back, dude. She was like
I did not know
one of my best friends for a long time.
Huh.
Yeah. So yeah, again,
that's interesting. That's all.
The next 4 are in no particular. Well, okay, so I picked 6. Sorry, no particular order.
Just so everyone at home, this is a Tom fan at work. This is the Tom DeLonge camper. It's like, I picked 6. I hope it's okay. Just gonna. It's like this is some kind of no rules land we're living in out here.
Except for every time we do a song of the week, you pick a book or an app. So I don't want to hear it, dude.
Yeah, well, that's because you got me hooked on all your good recommendations, which I enjoy very much. Took it in a different direction and decided to be nice because I actually know.
Right. All right, so I have Reckless Abandon.
Ooh, nice.
It's a good one. It was when when I first discovered the band, it was one of the 9 songs I was able to pull off of LimeWire. So it was one of the first that I heard. Wendy Clear.
Ooh, that's a good
cannot be forgotten. It's like this. What is it? The second to last track on Enema. We covered it all the time. It was one of my favorite songs.
That's when we started to realize the same chord progressions that they were using. You know what I mean?
Right.
It makes a T. It makes a T on the guitar, kind of.
Right.
A story about Reckless Abandon. That's actually that they use that little pattern on a lot of their songs. All the small things is just like 3/4 of the T, But so Reckless
Abandon. Your music theorist over here, the T on the
the T theory. Right. That's the best way I could explain it. No wonder you guys kicked me out of the band. I don't know what the fuck I was doing at the time. But Reckless Abandon, so I fell asleep with that album on all the time, and I must have had it in the same ear because I just thought there was 40 seconds of silence, and then that song started. There was like a year went by. I didn't even know that there was like a little intro that was only playing through one of the earphones. So I just sat there so patiently. Like I said, this is like the sit down in the mall mentality where you're just like, I need to listen to this. I'm like, yeah, I'll wait. If they want me to wait 40 seconds, I'll wait 40 seconds for the next song. I don't care.
Just not even knowing what's going on.
No idea. Yeah. In the meanwhile, he's like, on and on, but so, and then 40 seconds later, it's just, I'm just like,
that's so funny to me.
Yeah. I felt like such a goober, dude.
It's also some very dry production if there's no reverb going to the other track. That's or the other channel.
Might have been the headphones too. It's hard to say.
Interesting. So after Wendy Clear, I put Left Alone in here from California because It's one of their...
We're only halfway up.
What?
That's the song.
Okay. Yeah, sounds just like it.
I'm glad that you knew by like it was so unclear based on how shitty of a singer I am that you were just like, what?
Dude, you're not a
you know,
bad
the
singer.
song you just mentioned. Like, oh, right, sure.
But no, dude, so like that song, and again, like all the bridges in California kind of kill the song for me, except Left Alone when it drops out to just the drums with like the overcompression and the distortion on it.
Right.
Like, oh God, it
with
gets
the
me
vocals
so hard.
over it.
Yeah. But also, I think that when the chorus goes to like the faster part, the like "bring me down," it also doesn't mesh quite right. But like the rest of it is so good that I kind of just roll with it, you know?
Okay. Okay. I don't mind there being some California in your top 5 at all.
Sure.
It's a good effort, I think.
And I'm gonna close that with Dumpweed because
Sure.
that song, as you say, just brings the fucking thunder.
It
dude.
is like,
oh,
if they ever open a show, it's kind of like how Weezer should just always open with "My name is Jonas." You know, it's just
right.
You can't go wrong. But the thing is, sometimes, so when Weezer was on their "Everything Will Be All Right in the End" tour, I wanted them to open up with the first track on that CD, just for that tour. But I think if you're going all time set, you know what I mean? It's yeah, dome, na 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 na, and then like on and then the live record, everyone starts to be like, yeah, you know, because they realize what it is. Everyone knows how to react to it. You know, oh God, and like it's just dirty, nasty, teeny, punky bullshit. You know what I mean? It's just like no one like. I don't know. It's we're not trying to say we're hardcore down in like underground British bars. You know, obviously the Ramones, you know, the punk was, there's better versions of punk out there or whatever if you want to be hardcore about it. But for the time period and the age we were and what was going on culturally, that was it was better than listening to pop or boy bands. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it was just like the rock that was available to us, and they were funny, and they were...
You don't need to validate it, man.
I know, I'm just saying, if there's a listener out there, because we have all these Monkees fans in San Diego that are just listening to episode after episode. They don't have Twitter accounts, that's become clear. But but they're just sitting here, so I'm just trying to put in perspective, like, these dudes, I don't know, just, it was fun. It's fun. It was really, they rocked, you know. Man, how much bigger could they have gotten? You know what I mean? Has a pop punk band ever been bigger than they were in between Enema, Tom, Mark and Travis show, and Take Off Your Pants and Jacket? Like, they were huge.
I mean, punk, probably not.
All the small things, music videos, like them making fun of boy bands and stuff, like, it was good. It was good for what it, you know.
So did you see that, that thing where, oh God, the Jonas Brothers recorded a music video at the exact location that Blink filmed all the small things making fun of bands like them?
Oh, you mean Hanson or something?
No, it was the Jonas Brothers.
Are you talking about them on the beach?
Yeah.
I think you're thinking of Hanson.
No way, dude.
Jonas Brothers came after Blink.
I know, like a decade later.
Oh, Jonas Brothers did it. I wonder if that's the same beach that Hanson did the video to Mbop, though, also.
I don't know.
Because they're just running around on the beach with similar looking rocks. Maybe there's only so many beaches in California where they have permits for that type of shit. I don't know.
Right. True, yeah.
Living in the year 3000 is a bit a banger, though, to the Jonas Brothers' credit. Nothing's changed, but we live underwater.
Did you send me that meme of that? It was something about like...
I think it was a Trump administration meme or something. It's just like, living under Trump's administrations, nothing's changed, but we live underwater. Just like, not even that mean or you know what I mean? Like, not that biting of satire, just like, this is a meme that involves
just a little Easter
Trump's
egg
administration. Yeah, it's just like, you're not even making a good point, but I'm amused by whatever I just read, that's for sure.
Right.
So now we're going spin-off groups.
Yes. I mean, I think we should do, like, there were only so many, right?
There's 3. I mean, there's Plus 44, which is the third. The second would be... Boxcar, and the first is Angels and Airwaves. I want it to be Boxcar, but Boxcar was... That album, to me, was as good as Neighborhoods. It had 3 or 4... You know what I mean? It's not a front-to-backer, and...
Yeah.
It was good for what it was. I mean, the one where he's like, I feel so mad. You know,
That's pretty good.
Back in the day when you're all angsty, that was perfect.
Sure.
You know, when we saw him by chance together at Open for Taking Back Sunday
Oh my
in Cleveland,
God.
they played a Boxcar song, Angels and Airwaves did. And you flung underwear at Tom DeLonge.
I did. So
I didn't know you were at that show. And then I was like, oh, you're the kid that almost ended the concert.
So I had a pair of whitey tighties. I don't wear whitey tighties. I don't know where they came from, but I drew a huge heart on the butt and I wrote, I heart Tom, and I wore them around my neck, and it caused people to keep a pretty big radius from me.
Yeah.
So I had like the whole pit to myself again. But like
you should write a book like how to claim your pit. Claiming your pit with Tom Kelly.
I mean, I love Taking Back Sunday, one of the most influential bands of all time to me, like maybe number 2 behind Blink.
Damn.
But
really?
Yeah, right. But Angels and Airwaves, man, I mean, that show, I remember. So when I first heard Angels and Airwaves, I heard The Adventure leaked, and the girl I was dating at the time, Stephanie, her cousin Mark loved it. And he's like, dude, you got to listen to it. I heard it and I hated it. He's like, dude, please just give it another chance. Try to get into a different mindset than you were going into it. Like, just realize this is not Blink-182, and it will not be.
Right.
And I listened to it again once Do It For Me Now came out, along with
Do It For Me Now is a good track. It's probably the best. It's probably the best non-Blink track. No, actually, I take it back. I'm just gonna do this now because we're doing this. Plus 44.
Well, hold on.
Okay.
Okay, so I fell asleep to Angels and Airwaves, those 3 songs, for months, man.
Yeah.
And like when the album finally came out, it was just like such a oh my God, it was so good. But I remember being at this show, my hands in the air, my head was back resting on some random dude's shoulders.
Yeah.
And I just stood the whole show with both my arms in the air. And I felt like I was on a different planet, dude. Like,
yeah.
It took me away, and as if I didn't love their music like enough, just that experience of like almost like feeling like out of body, like that solidifies them as being also one of my favorite groups for sure.
Yeah, so I don't like them as much as you do, but I do. They are the best side project. Plus 44 is the worst, and I'll say
by a lot.
Boxcar is number 2, but I will say this. Boxcar has the best non-Blink side project song. No, it isn't. It's just, it's a tune. It's a damn tune. It is just, for those of us in Camp Mark, the humble Camp Mark, that's probably the best song he's ever written. I mean,
is that the like and tear down something beautiful?
It's just like yeah. It's
yeah.
Like, and then it's the song about Blink's breakup. You know, just like
right.
Tom's being a dick,
pretty.
and I'm sitting here taking heat. You know, and I'm just swallowing my words and drowning from it, and you know,
it's a bummer.
Yeah. Anyway, it was almost like a song he wrote, and it was just on this random website that you had to go to. And then it ended up being on a Plus 44 record later, and they redid a version of it. But I think that's... So you said to rank 3 non-Blink side project songs? Although Angels and Airwaves and Plus 44 aren't side projects.
Yeah, you're right.
But we'll put them in that category for the sake of the argument. I'll say No It Isn't is the best. I'll say Do It For Me Now is number 2, because that's a great tune. I'm not here to bash Angels and Airwaves. I like that record too. They were on to a new one when they had that chain sound, that stomping, that marching, like, you know, they were just on something different. The sound of gears, and it was a good new thing. And then number 3, I'll say Letters to God off of Boxcar Racer.
Okay.
Which it's one of those ones where I don't know. It's just one of the ones off that album that I know that there's the one where he's talking about getting mad and angry, and then there's the one about he's on a road trip or something and he drives or something, or he drives up on a pebble road, or what the f is that song they played at the show with Taking Back Sunday?
Wait, what?
He talks about driving a certain amount of miles or something in Boxcar that off that album.
I don't remember.
I feel like it's one of your favorites.
Boxcar?
Yeah.
I'm drawing a blank right now.
Hold on, let me try to Google it. You do your 5, and I'll...
All right. So this is hard because I love a lot of Angels and Airwaves songs.
It's true. That first album would be your first 10 off this list.
Yeah, that album is about as close to flawless as it gets. The only album that I haven't really listened to is Love Part 2 for some reason. I skipped that one. But I do like that they did like you go to their website and all the albums were like for free. Like after Love, they just put them up for free.
Oh,
which
and
cool.
I, dude. And I.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that song rules.
So the off Boxcar, the I Feel So and I were the two hits, I think. But Letters to God, track 7 was my favorite.
Okay. So yeah, this one was hard. I tried to keep it to 5.
Okay.
Which I did. But so I have The War as number 1.
Is that the
Yeah. So I remember this like speech that he gave before playing that song at the Take It Back Sunday show.
It was an anti-Bush speech at the time, I think.
Yeah, because he said something about like his brother was like fighting in this bullshit war and this bullshit this and you know.
Yeah, I always thought that was funny just because, like, I always thought that back when I tried stand up for like a couple weeks there, I was trying to work on a joke where it was like people that cheated at public speaking, like no one was gonna like it wasn't that I don't know it's just like. Who here's against the war? You know, like
right.
all you
know?
Kids at a punk show. It's like, yeah, we're against it. Sure. You know, who thinks punning midgets is bad? We do. That's horrible. It's just like, to me, it wasn't a very, I don't know. Something about it seemed like too easy or something. Like,
oh, I mean, definitely. But I was 16 or 17.
No, I know. I was
whatever.
there. I was literally there with you and loving every minute of it. So I'm not saying I was above it. Just looking back, it was like, I would have cheered at anything he said. You know what I mean?
Right. Okay, so Do It For Me Now.
Yeah.
Definitely. I mean, oh, God. And wait, you know what? I think I wrote the wrong title down in this one. Yeah, okay, sorry. And then I think maybe like A Little's Enough.
Okay.
Might be up there.
I'm surprised you didn't say Distraction.
No.
Okay.
I mean, that was good too, for sure. They're all good. I mean,
it's a good record. It is. I'll give you that.
To find five.
At the very least, it was different because Tom was, he went off to try something new and he did something new. But then he kind of, I don't know. So that's your list.
No, I'm still going.
Okay,
man.
keep going then.
So There Is from Boxcar Racer because that's
There Is. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one they played at the show.
Yeah, that makes sense.
As Angels and Airwaves, though.
Yeah.
But I mean, he wrote the damn thing. So.
Incredible song, super simple, just beautiful. And I remember being a younger guy at Forward Hall in Erie, Pennsylvania. I think, oh God, who was playing it? Someone covered that song with just an acoustic guitar. And there was a band that played before him. And I think it was my buddies Josh and Jess, who I talked about, I think on the last episode, they started pulling out pieces of their drum set and like from backstage were like playing the snare part and the kick drum and just like the whole crowd was singing. And it just got like weirdly emotional because like all these people just started pulling out their instruments to like accompany him. Like it was really cool.
It does sound like a nice moment.
But also just the song is killer. And there is actually a spin-off thing that you didn't mention. Tom DeLonge just has like a solo project now. And I mean, it was from To the Stars actually, which is his new like.
Is it good?
It's like To the Stars Inc. The album as a whole isn't like one of the best, but there's a song called The Invisible Parade, and it's just like a really nice acoustic song. And his voice sounds amazing. When I played it, like when you hear Tom DeLonge, you know it's Tom DeLonge, right? Megan was like, "Oh, who is this?" Like, this is Tom DeLonge. Like, his voice just sounds like way more mature, and it kind of slides back into like his normal voice later on in the song. But it's just like a really, really beautiful song. I like it a lot, so you should check it out.
Sure.
For sure.
You know what I forgot to mention?
What?
The Aquabats.
Well, it's not a spin-off.
Yeah, but it needs to get mentioned just because it adds Travis was in a 12-man ska band that dressed up like fake superheroes, and they had a song called Pool Party.
Yes, I knew
which
it.
is a that song rips, and so does his pool in that song, incidentally. It's
I cleaned it yesterday.
Yeah, I cleaned it yesterday. Girls look kill.
And there's
Pool party, baby. It was a cool party. Cool pool party. La 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 la. I thought it was
so good.
I thought it was the
So
lead singer
good.
to Real Big Fish for a while, but they're wildly different bands. Anyway, so that was Travis's project before he just hiding away in some throwaway gimmick ska band. And then he just
It was before
and then he joined
Blink-182.
I know, yeah, and then he joins Blink, and then Enema happens. It's just like, oh, this is different. This is a different course for all three of the people involved. I love there's a as we close up here, I guess, to a certain degree, there was a video that I'll never forget, made me laugh really hard. It was them going on tour with Green Day. I guess they saved Green Day's careers. I guess this was pre-American Idiot. It was some liner note, anecdote about, they let Green Day tour with them, and it kind of revived their stuff. And anyway, but they hadn't gone on tour for a while, so their manager got them all in a room, and they're like, "Hello, you are a band. Your band's name is Blink-182. There's 3 people in your band. This is Mark. This is Tom. This is Travis. You may see those people in this room with you today." And it was just kind of I don't know. I was very much charmed by all their attempts to be funny.
Did you see the documentary Riding in Vans with Boys?
No.
Are you serious?
No.
I forget the name of their band.
I mean, yes, I am serious.
Okay, I forget the name of their band. I should know this. They toured with Blink and Green Day, but they were this no-name band that were just touring in an old beat-up van, and they played in the parking lot of the venue before the Blink concerts, and it's a documentary done by those guys.
So they just followed the tour and they played in the parking lots.
I mean, they were officially on the they were officially on the tour.
Oh, interesting.
But they just didn't play in the venue. On the last day, they actually played the main stage with them. But
cool.
I remember the manager being like, "Don't talk to the guys. Don't talk to Blink, don't talk to Green Day."
Sure.
But it's really interesting. I actually watched it with Ryan in college.
Nice. I'll have to check it out.
What was the name of that band? It was 2 short words. But I think that kind of wraps it up.
Oh, last anecdote I heard on the radio the other day.
Sure.
First Date was not originally on the record, is the rumor I heard. And they wrote it. They're like, we need a pop. We need a hit. So Tom wrote the dumbest shit he could think of. And apparently that was First Date. You might have to fact check me on that, but as the story goes,
Sure.
he just in the car, I just can't wait to take you out on her, is it cool? He just wrote a date song, I guess, to appease the record company. That's the story anyway, and it makes sense for how stupid those fucking lyrics are. But that song does. That is one of their better songs. So who's to say? I don't. The lyrics are dumb, but it rips pretty good.
Pretty good. I'll fact check that.
All right. Parting thoughts?
Well, on Blink?
Yeah, we're winding down here. I think we've covered what we wanted to cover. There was a special. I think what we're establishing here is their live album, "Take Off Your Pants and Jacket" and "Enema" was a very special double. I mean, they were unstoppable. They were just fucking unstoppable. I mean, Sum 41 couldn't touch them. I mean, there was a lot of versions of them that were out there, slight variations. But I mean, was it the new punk scene, or I mean, I guess I couldn't even speak to the history of it. But I mean, they just kind of
I was too young
burst
to
on,
know.
and
I mean,
yeah, I guess my interpretation from the things I've seen and read is that it was just, I don't think they were ever trying to be punk. They weren't going to be Ramones about it, and it was just this new weird millennial not giving a shit. Goofy. It was goofier punk. You know what I mean? Just the f*** am I listening to? You know what I mean? They're swearing. It's inappropriate, but it's also dumb and jerk offy. You know what I mean? A lot of masturbatory themes and to some of this. It's just weird. I don't know. It was just this new, and then before you knew it, it was over.
Yeah.
2 albums later, really, before it even got started. So yeah.
If just in time for Valentine's Day, there's a Facebook page called Blink-182 Memes. And it is hilarious, man. Lots of really funny like e-cards that are Blink lyrics, and they're just so funny.
Okay, I'll join. I'll have to join.
Like, are you a dog? Because I'd like to. Like,
Yeah, that's part of the humor stuff too. It's just like some of their throwaway songs at the end of albums were just I want a dog in the I want a fucking dog. I want a dog. You know, just and then the rest of the song was a big chorus coming in. He wants a fucking dog. And then they would always play that song live about, it would be nice to have a blowjob.
my God,
it would be nice to have a blowjob from your mom. And then they did the George Carlin 7 Words You Can't Say on TV song and added like 6 more really nasty sounding songs, words to it.
Yep.
Blank. I guess you would. Do you want me to sing it? And you can bleep every word.
Yes.
Let's just add more. Okay. Sucker, mother, fart, turd, and. Is that all of them?
Yeah.
I think
the beat keeps changing and like the harmonies come in. Like,
anyway, I tried. Yeah. Super nice harmony at the end. Anyway, I'll stop singing it because that you'll just have to bleep. You could do like a line bleep, just instead of beep 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 beep.
They were definitely something different, and it was like. Yeah, like this goofy pop punk that didn't take itself too seriously. There wasn't really much of a message in most of it, which I think made it maybe acceptable by more people. It was just like fun party time music. And
but it was like a little bit relationshipy. Like this is girls are such drag. It was definitely like you had to be at a certain age at a certain time to really fall in love with what was going on.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know if you could have been in college and been like, yeah, man, girls are such a drag. I don't know if you'd be too cool for it at that point or what, but it was definitely finger in your nose while you fart. I mean, just look at the cover. The people in line for the doctor's office at Enema at the State, if you open up the album, the CD sleeve, and the people that are waiting to get the shot from that booby nurse, they're all in their boxers, picking their nose and digging in their butts, and it's just like it is what it is, no more, no less. It's really all I got. I mean, they're definitely one of my favorites. Weezer's still my favorite band of all time, I think.
Yeah, sure. We covered them too. I don't know the catalog like you do, but
yeah, I mean, I definitely, they're my band for sure. Blink is your favorite for sure?
Yeah.
All right. I was thinking about my top 5 the other day because there's a Jimmy Eat World concert coming to Morgantown soon. And, I've seen The Killers, I've seen Motion City, I've seen Weezer, I've seen Blink, I've seen Bruce, I've seen, I'm going down the list. And Killers is pretty far on the top 10, but now we're getting a Jimmy Eat World category, so I got to go. That's probably next. On the bands that you can always, like, Motion City is low-key one of my favorites because they have 2 albums I can go front to back with, which is...
Oh my gosh, yes.
They're I don't know if Taking Back Sunday and Brand New fall into that top 10 just because I do like a lot of their front. They have a few front to backers for me, but I don't know. It's the aging well. You know what I mean? I don't know. They haven't.
Yeah.
It's hard to stay that angry, that angsty. You know what I mean? It's just like.
Yeah, no, I feel you.
It's just like, I don't know. I don't know. Tell All Your Friends is a very, very. We could go on a whole nother episode with other bands we like, I guess. So I'll stop there, but.
So do you want to wrap it up? Go in for the highlight of the week and maybe recommend a song there?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
My highlight of the week was Jessie said she's going to surprise me by kind of coming to check out apartments at the beginning of March. And she's like, keep the romance alive, baby. I'm coming for you. And I was like,
awesome.
Because like I've been flying to her more, but that's how I wanted it to be. I wanted to be, you know what I mean? I wanted her to be able to save up for the move and kind of put myself out doing it. And it's kind of cool. She's just like, I got the money. I'm going to do it. I was like, all right. Like, I'm not going to try to talk you out of it. So that's really good. And, for as much as it's beginning to drag and as much as I hate that I'm getting used to not being near her, you know what I mean? Because it's been a fucking while at this point. It's not that I don't want it. You know what I mean? So she's going to come and I'll drive down and keep this train rolling, man. Keep it going. I miss her. I miss her a great deal, but there's light at the end of the tunnel.
I guess my highlight, I wanted to say like after that rough day at work, I was concerned that I maybe like working on roofs wasn't right for me, but then I felt like maybe it was. But that's just like, I don't know. I I kind of already had the like job thing as the highlight of the week. So yesterday, a buddy of mine, a guy that I just know from the internet, his name is Tyler. I think I found him on like some Zelda Instagram. He makes hand-carved wooden Zelda props, like all the shields and masks and stuff.
Sure,
like,
sure.
it's amazing. But he's also a fantastic musician. Plays some like kind of pop punk stuff, a little edgier. But he records everything like I do with like drums, guitar, bass, vocals. And he wrote some pretty cool music I was into last year. He's up in Vancouver, Canada, and he actually reached out to me yesterday, and he was like, "Hey, I see you've been doing some stuff with Elemental FM, and like you've been writing about some bands, and I read some of your interviews and thought they were really cool. I was wondering if you'd want to cover the release of my band's album." And like, they have a following, but they're not like a huge band, but still just the fact that like it felt so awesome to hear like, yeah, see this thing you're doing. I like it. Do you want to like, do some
Right.
stuff for me? I just felt like
some synergy type stuff.
I just like, it was a little bit of like validation,
Sure. Hey, it's another step,
Yeah, I mean, I've been working like between 20 and 30 hours a week probably on this stuff. I mean, each episode that I do for this is like 6 hours. And then everything else, especially with the Ad Astra stuff coming up. But so like he sent me the whole album. I haven't listened to it yet because he sent it to me when I was working today. But he sent me the whole album. I'm gonna like, I don't know if I'm gonna do a review. Like, I don't want to just do a review. Like, I want to do something different.
Sure.
But it feels awesome. Like,
Yeah.
man, I can do this,
Well, you should let one of the best songs off the album you like play at the end of the next episode.
We're gonna schedule it closer to their release because it's still like a month and a half out or so.
Cool. I like the sound of that.
Like, I'm definitely gonna talk about it, but like, I'm not getting paid for it.
Sure.
He's just, he's just like a guy I know. We've shared music.
It's a nice thing.
So like, I'm gonna write some stuff about it. I'm gonna like cover the release. And I mean, if I love it, I'll definitely make it a song of the week. I mean, I'm running out of things to even say because
you've nailed it lately.
Too much new music.
Moose Blood and Julian were really. I mean, I wanted you to stop giving me recommendations for a while just because I was like, I'm still vibing on the shit you told me 2 weeks ago. To be quite honest.
Yeah.
That Moose Blood record is pretty tasty. Pastel.
Oh God.
Super digestible, nice, solid. It's good stuff.
Yeah. John. So I guess my song of the week, I mean, I talked about it, but The Invisible Parade by Tom DeLonge.
Okay.
Really mellow, really beautiful melodies. His vocals are great. Yeah, I would definitely check that out. There's also an Angels and Airwaves song that maybe next week. I can't be giving away too much.
One at a time.
So yeah,
Invisible Parade. If you heard it scratching on my track, it's because I was writing it down.
Okay, and all the other noise you're making over there.
Yeah, I it's a plastic table in a closet. I just doing my best here.
I understand.
I was listening to Julian Baker a lot, right? And that's pretty sad, and I didn't really want to feel that way anymore, so I changed. So I have two songs. One is, well, I'm just going to say, no, one is Fake Love by Drake, and one is Love Me by the 1975.
Ooh.
And I want you to listen to those two and try to feel, I want you to come back to me next week with why you think I told you to listen to those two.
All right.
I'm interested to see your interpretation of why those became favorites of mine after a Julian Baker phase.
Okay. Sounds good.
But, all right, man. Well, this was fun and, glad we could just represent two different camps of Blink fan instead of just fanboying out on the same stuff. Because there are two different ways to appreciate them, I think.
Yeah.
And there's multiple phases of the band too, so. But this was a lot of fun. Sorry to the listeners if you didn't like it. Whatever. We've been waiting to do this just as pals. So,
right.
Rock on and keep your head up, get your bread up.
Sure.
Tomorrow's a latter day, in the words of a cast member of the Tony Award-winning musical Book of Mormon.
Very nice.
All right, that's peace out, man.
All right, dude. Love you, man. Talk to you later.
Love you too.
Bye.
Ba 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 ba.